And so the long of it, fuck. Where do we begin? Well, for one, and I'm doing good so far, is, I had held back some cash, so I was able to get some more medicine, and, I have not gone back and partaked of it again since early this morning. It's like 10 o'clock at night now, and I just got a lot on my mind. I need like I got like a fuck ton just a lot. Like, I'm only halfway making the video because like the song was like, it's falling, game over by falling in reverse. I didn't mention the part about collecting coins. It's not that I'm like actually collecting coins, but metaphorically, I've seen it as like every video I drop is like a little thing in the coin box. And just look at everything metaphorically. So I'm at the point of trying to level up and move along. But that's just one of the songs I listened to. Like I was pretty lost. So even with the medication, I was still feeling lost. Like took like a whole lot of say music therapy, intensive music therapy along with it, and getting this thing done. Like this was I messed up unraveling it, so it was all tangled up like in an instant. It took like an hour in the cold, but it didn't matter because like medicine. Yeah, there was just so much shit. Like I would have forgot stuff. Like I was forgetting stuff anyways, even with the medication. But like I was like, okay, it was like that thing, a couple loose ends. One of them was my laptop. I was like, oh fuck, I left that out in this thing, which isn't sealed tight. Well, like if I didn't have it, I would have busted my ass all the same. Got nowhere like near as done, and then been like, all right, I think I got everything. I'm just passed out, and then be like, oh fuck, my laptop, blah blah blah. But if you then you would be like, oh, you should have, you should have wheeled through it, blah 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 blah. But the thing is, they make you kind of superhuman, and then I haven't had them in a while, so. Or on top of that, also like had nowhere to go necessarily, so it was like no, like oh yeah, you're gonna go here, by this time, so use them all up by then. No, it's like this is where you're at for the foreseeable future, and you have this much, which isn't gonna last it, but you can make it last as long as possible. And yeah, I mean honestly, like it's harder to control it too, because if it's like off on and off, there's like it's several things actually. One of the things I thought of earlier was the fact even just having someone to confide in, or help keep accountable. But is this regard like okay, it's like it's a scarcity thing too. So yeah, so I binged a little bit when I first got it, and like me binging is like the equivalent of smoking like half a joint. It's like someone's got one of those decent sized fat pre-rolls. Like I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna break this up into like 7 different little tiny bowls. I'm like, all right, fuck it, and I go to smoke it, and I smoke like half of it. Like that's doing a fuck ton to me, because I have so little to work with, whatever. This is the nature of my survival game. I don't really like it, but that's just the way it is right now. That's the way it's been for a long time, so I've adapted to that. I mean, it's actually come with a lot of advantages, oddly enough. So I binged it, whatever, in that initial period. And I basically consider that going for a trip. If you're going to do more than just the functional amount, whatever. Do more than just get high for a few hours, whatever. Like, actually, like, stay up and fucking... So, it's like, you can do some deep soul searching and shit. I mean, especially because, like, I can't, like, the fun's, like people, other people, they have, you know, friends and other bad influences to go out and do lots of fun things, and yeah, I ain't got that. So it really irks at me. It really, like, claws at my mind. It really fucks with me. But it's a pain I'm used to. Especially because, like, they have certain weaknesses and I have certain strengths. Which just, yeah, it's... I guess it's taken quite a bit of misery to get here. But so I binged, okay? And then I hit a point in the morning where I stopped, cut myself off. Then I went about my whole day with the stuff on me, too. And so the urge was always there. And I just kept fighting the urge all day. And I made it. And then it really fucks with me. Just, like, there's one person I like, and they like somebody else, whatever, and, you know, I just know, like, there's just this thing of they'll have, like, hours-long communication talk, whatever. I mean, they're rich, you know, they got into programming. I don't get programming, computer science shit, you know, that's, like, big money, whatever. The one person gets, you know, they get treated with Adderall. You know, they're trans, too, so it's just, like, there's all these things to compare myself to. And the one person's a friend, they really helped me out, but it's just, like, I can text them, but they don't, like, really talk back much, like, while, like, the other person's getting, like, hours-long mentorship, and, I mean, just even just, like, yeah, just not being alone all the time. These things are really taken for granted. But, yeah, so I'm, like, at the drop-in place. I was, like, going there, like, hoping at some point. It was so busy today. I was, like, hoping, like, oh, maybe I can, like, I never bother really bother their time for anything other than just the necessities. But, you know, like, maybe today I'll try to get, like, a 20-minute, 15-minute, like, counseling. Like, hey, I actually need to talk to somebody. And it was just super busy. It was, you know, it was, like, super wonderful. They had music and stuff. The one guy I want to talk to, he was actually doing a lot of the music, so it wasn't going to interrupt him during that. And as the time was ticking down in my head, because I always talk to people in my head. I talk to people in my head all fucking day. I don't actually talk to them. It's fucked up. But as I'm, you know, going in my head, I'm like, alright, so a 15-minute is like a 5 minutes, like maybe a 3-minute of, like, okay, boom, boom, what the fuck am I actually bothering them about? what is the sort of solution I'm looking for, and I sort of like figured my own shit out a bit from that sort of pressure. But even just the pressure of having someone else there to possibly talk to helped a lot. Instead of where I binged, I had I had no one to talk to, or no one of a moderate mind to be like, for me to be like, hey, this is how this is, da 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 da. I should do this and this and this. Oh yeah, hold me accountable. It's like it totally has to be totally on me. But today it was helpful because I actually was able to talk to him. He actually did sit down and talk to me, and we talked for about 10 minutes or so. Just plenty enough time. And yeah, I mean, I basically I told him like, hey, like, I have a medication. It's he knows like I'm like sluggish. Like I'd say I was able to communicate all that. Like I can communicate clearly. Like I can keep the flow of thoughts going. It's fucking crazy, even though it's worn off since this morning. So it's effective for a long time, even after the high is worn off. Therefore, I don't need to like keep re-upping the fucking high. So these are like honest fucking things. Whereas what like I might want to be like, oh yeah, I need to do another one. I need to do the. Honestly, like no, I don't. So just be honest. Like, it has a potential for abuse. I have fucked up and fumbled the ball several times. So I mean, it just helps. It just I told him my plan of the things I was like, I have this plan, I have this plan, I have this plan. After this, I'm going back to my camp, whatever, and it's music or games or reading. No crazy adventures or anything. That would make me say, oh, to try to justify or whatever. And just several times today when I really thought about like. When I thought about hitting it too, I thought like, well, when I see him, next time I see him, this will be after the weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to tell him like, I don't want to tell him I broke, and it's either tell him I broke or like I don't like the thought of lying that's gross to me. It's it's not like I'm not gonna lie about it. So I either have to tell him, yeah, I fucking broke and did the thing. I lied. Basically, like, lied to myself in a way. I did the thing even though I knew I shouldn't. And I had said this before. I, like, stated this beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, so that helps, like, that helped me, like, not to do. Along with this, like, a whole bunch of other fucking things. Like, I was thinking about going back to magical systems. I was, what the fuck does that mean? But, like, using lyrics is, I forgot. I was trying to even, at one point, because they mentioned, like, because he was going with music, and at one point, while they had the music going, I was like, oh, well, the universe is half mathematical and half semantic. And when they come together, it makes the music. It's probably why an electron is like both a wave and a particle or some shit. But the world is largely blocky and square. It's all mathematical. At least except what's in like legal documents, like the 5,000 pages to like the new fucking law for this bullshit and that bullshit. So the magical systems use like fucking incantations and fucking sacred geometry and shit. like the real mathematics and fucking semantics of the universe. But I got this one song by Avatar, it's like Hail to the King or something, but it's like, harder than steel is my king's will. So, like, I got that playing in my head as far as, like, I'm not gonna do the thing. Because I go to bed eventually. I've been thinking. Like, and then I gotta somehow, put the videos out there of the fucking what's going on with my shit and keep that up. And I'm just, not wanting to address that tomorrow. Or mostly I've just been, reorientating myself. Using the you mentioned the semantics and stuff of the universe, using the lyrics to understand what it is I should be doing, or because I would rather base my life off lyrics than I would anything that I'm supposed to according to society. And then things from the 40K universe. I've been learning about the Sisters of Battle. They're really awesome in their conception and how they do things. So I might emulate more of them, not just the orcs. Oh man, it's fucking cold. But I'm really well off. Actually, they got this fucking thing built. I was pissed last time because I got pissed on. I was had this one little dry spot surrounded by fucking wet blankets. Because I didn't have this part buried up underneath, and I figured that out after. But I might have figured that. I might not have even made that mistake. I just my design capabilities are just so much better when I have medicine. So that whole thing of waking up at 4 o'clock surrounded by soggy fucking sheets. If I had my fucking medicine that night or the night before to prep set up, it probably wouldn't have fucking happened. But yeah, I'm gonna be developing my magical systems, I guess. I keep forgetting what that is because I can't play music at the same time and my brain doesn't hold it forever. At least specifically to repeat. It comes to me as the situation might pop up. As far as I am tired, that's a good thing. Because my plan is go to sleep as I should and then wake up early and get the bed set up and get my boots on and all that sort of shit, and then maybe do some training and exercise a little bit, or some reading, do a little bit, however much I can muster. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I wake up. At least a little bit. That's what I mean by a little bit. At least even if I feel like dog shit, just get it started for the practice of it, and then once I get a bite in there, I'll probably hit up the medicines again and go from there. I did exercise in front of the homeless intake place, and then across the street in the big giant open fucking monument area. But there, everyone should be. Oh, that was definitely another thing I've been thinking about. Thinking. Everybody should be doing push-ups and all that sort of shit, or at least some sort of physical exercise, or I don't know. It's mostly dudes like that. You know, it's just mostly on us to like do the push-ups and all that sort of shit. But I was thinking like 5 pillar. I was thinking, yeah, I had to make it 5 because 5 is a magical number because Discordianism says it so. I only had 4, so I kept trying to think of a 5th because I knew there was a 5th because Discordianism is always correct. And it says that wherever there's 4, there's always a 5th. So at least one of the pillars is definitely, I've known for a long time, is push-ups, which is basically just a shorthand way of saying physical well-being. It's just the most simplest, basic, for dudes anyways, way to level that down. And then I was thinking, well, what about all your other shit, like your plans, your your tactics, your strategy? That's all mental shit. You know, and I just realized now, if I think about it as like Gork and Mork, Gork is brutality, and Mork is cunning. And then there's like, they'll get in whole fights, so whether it's Mork and Gork or Gork and Mork. But this thing has 5 pillars, so it's not Gork and Mork. It's not actually brutality and cunning, but it's kind of like that. It's physicality and cunning. Or stratagem. The mental aspect of it. But, and then also people like knowing this shit on the individual, like everyone does push-ups, okay. Everyone knows like the 48, knows like at least a few of the 48 laws of power. This is the mental part of it. And then there's like the spirit, the corpse, which are in spirit, is spirit, not spirit or spirituality, but it's something that it's this type of spirit that has something to keep moving, keep pushing, has a direction to keep pushing, keep moving the needle forward, kind of thing, rather than just being content or waiting. And the 4th pillar originally was logistics. And I put down supply, production. I was like, really all that shit is just logistics in one sense or another. In the broadest sense. Like, well, those are basically the 4 things you need to run an army. And I was like, forever thinking about it. And then I realized, like, diplomacy. Alliances, frenemies, getting, I guess, enemies to... That's a little more advanced than I'm thinking of, but definitely alliances. Like, so that was the 5th pillar I was definitely missing, and that's like a basic. It's like a basic model for something. Well, like this place is logistics, right? Like before, it had like a logistics score of like 2. Now it's got a logistics score of like 2.5. I've been kind of like low. It probably doubled. It's probably like a 4 now. We have the space back here, all this sort of shit. It's actually like more well protected. Because I have this logistics stuff here. If someone's like, oh fuck, my bags got wet, or oh fuck, I'm locked out, or whatever, or like, you know what I mean? Like I have power. I have logistical power because I have items in my supply base. This is my supply base, and I can loan these items out, or I can give these items out. And the supply chains and all that sort of shit. knowing them. But it's just part of, I guess it goes into alliances as well. I know I've got 2 gigabytes, so I'm just like, partly I'm taking up space. This is a big part of my exercise. You take over space. Everyone's all cuddled, like, not cuddled, like, crowded together. And, huddled. I was saying crowded and huddled. At the front door of this place. Like, in the smallest possible space. As close to, like, the begging area, basically. And they're all staying still and all that sort of thing. And there's, like, no power in that. So, you know, like, a principle of seizing power is to have physicality. So I go eat or whatever, and then before or after or both. This time a little bit of both. I do push-ups and all that sort of shit. Because if they all started doing that, they all started whatever, getting in shape, like, alright, now they got some power. Also, you know, it really just helps. It helps dismantle the fucking New World Order agenda of having people's posture and backs so fucked up that they're like, they don't have any backbone to fight because it's literally like fucking crooked as fuck. Like doing exercising, it undoes like lots of damage. Undoes lots of damage. You know, and then from there they start like your physicality going, and then you start looking, hey, what are my options? So I was thinking the mental is like, and part of the mental is, hey, I can go across the street. There's this big, giant, empty area with the big old roof, all fancy, all this sort of shit. It's like just empty and vacant with a monument thing. I go over there and do exercise. I'm a homeless person. You can tell me, like, I'm fucking doing push-ups, you know what I mean? Like, I'm out here freezing. I'm keeping them warm. I think you start taking the space, and then people start looking at you weird, like they're driving by in their fancy cars and all that sort of shit. And they're like, holy fuck, there's a crazy homeless person who isn't just like huddled up over there. He's over here. So that's part of the mental part of it. And then the spirit, the corpse of it is it's just an injustice, and it's just getting worse. And it's not just the homeless aspect of it. It's like the whole industrialization is just like wiping out massive amounts of critter space. You know, I like the critters. And it's like, hey, we need to bulldoze this thing so we can make a service road. And then later after that, we'll just, like, put billboards and fucking bank slogans and shit. Like, just into a perfectly manicured lawn that requires all this fucking upkeep. Instead of, like, farming it. Like, oh, we're gonna make sure there's no fruit-bearing trees. Yeah, so for me, it's more so my spirit to corpses. Well, it's a lot of things. It's, you know, even the whole, like, the trans bullshit, trans politics stuff, it still comes from the evil, like, fucking satanic overrulers and shit, who are the same ones that are building the fucking high-rise condominiums everywhere and leaving them fucking empty and saying, oh yeah, there's gonna be construction here for the next 5-10 years. So there's just like massive vacant, fucking millions of vacant square feet surrounded by fucking fences and fucking, oh, you're on camera. As I said, this fucking city is more like an ivory tower, or a bunch of ivory towers surrounded by fucking concentration camps. But the people can definitely be empowered, and then there's like the middle class. There's definitely I don't know. I think because everything can be broken down into fives again. You've got like your poorest of poor. You got your really poor people, and then you've got your ultra rich people.